Welcome to the patio. Today, we're going to talk about some of the craziest news stories making headlines lately, and there's no shortage of material. First up, we got Elon Musk warning about a population crisis in the U.S., saying that a big reckoning is coming, and there's the Chinese spy balloon that now they say gathered intelligence from sensitive military sites. Anybody surprised by that?
Oh, my.
What about Marjorie Taylor Green? She's been stirring the pot with her controversial comments about Democrats being pedophiles. I think we've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you hear about Bud Light's partnership with trans poster girl / boy girl Dylan Mulvaney? My goodness, what in the hell are these people thinking? But let's not forget the heavier news, Putin and Russia. More about them. Jamie's favorite girl, Lizzo, flaunting her curves in a bright pink bikini. If I could put it on the screen, I would. But probably the most concerning news is economic experts' dire warning on the serious threat faced the U.S. dollar. Hey guys, welcome to the patio. I am T, and I am here with actually my normal crew. And we got our silent but deadly in the room. You guys won't hear him say a word. But Fortenberry, Father Fortenberry, how are you this fine evening?
I'm brokenhearted too.
Why are you brokenhearted?
Us Bush Latte drinkers, it's been a sad day.
Well, see, up until a few minutes ago, I thought Bush Lattes were safe, but I guess that I now find out that they are not.
Tell them Jamie Anheuser-Busch.
You haven't been marked safe, huh?
Nope. We'll talk about that later, but I'm hurting my soul.
Gary, are you also? Well, hold on, I got somebody in the wrong spot. DW, are you also brokenhearted?
Nah, I don't drink that water beer anyways.
How are you doing tonight? Freshly back from the volleyball excursion to the big ATL.
Yeah, came back. The Queens, not me, but our daughters, the Queens of Atlanta. They won the whole thing. One of the biggest tournaments in the nation, so it was good. Made that trip worth it.
Awesome.
Gary.
Yep.
Gary's got some new artwork behind him today. Game over. Gary's a big gamer.
Game over.
Yeah, we'll figure out. Maybe that should look better on the other side, but it looks good right
Either
now.
way.
Sitting up there like Hoggo. How are you, Gary?
I mean, y'all know me. I'm still the same OG.
But you've been low key.
I've been
hated on.
I mean, y'all know what OG stands for, right?
Old Gary.
Yeah, that's right. Original Gary.
The old Gary.
So how many Garys are there? We know there's lots of Garys, but how many truly Garys are there?
Who knows?
Nobody knows.
I don't even know.
This is Gary.
Gary.
He's like that superhero multiple man. He's just got multiple personalities.
There's a multiple man?
I never heard of that guy.
I think
It's one of those low key
okay.
super guys.
Sweet.
He might be a villain. I don't know.
He's probably like a dark web superhero that Jamie found somewhere.
Wouldn't Mystique be like that, though?
I think Mystique would be considered a anti-villain.
Yeah.
Or anti-hero, I mean. Kind of like Batman
It's like
and
antimatter.
Well, or,
But you got certain ones that really aren't bad, but they're not good either.
yeah, like Venom. Venom's not bad. He's not necessarily good.
who's the other guy in the red suit?
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool's
He's
anti-hero.
mostly good, though.
Deadpool's the
He also
ultimate.
kills everybody.
He's the ultimate good guy. I like him.
But he kills.
He's just
He's the ultimate good bad guy.
Wolverine. That'd be anti-hero, I think.
No, he's a good guy. He don't do anything bad.
He kills people.
But only the bad people. That makes you good.
Dude, Superman don't kill nobody.
Yeah, Superman sucks.
I agree.
I
like my superheroes to kill folks.
I mean, he was
Superman,
literally
like
no, that's a Boy Scout.
he's like the laziest superhero of all time. Like the guy who's creating him was like, he's gonna have every power in the world.
I agree. That is a terrible, terrible writing.
But
And then they made him weak. After all of that, they
rock.
ended up making him weak.
with a meteor rock.
Like the only thing that hurts him is doesn't exist. So
Exactly.
Well, that got off a tangent, right?
Yeah, that went a little while.
That's all right. We're good.
Batman isn't even a superhero.
He's a millionaire though. That
makes you super.
That makes you super.
Elon Musk could do that.
Speaking of super, that's a good intro. Talking about Elon Musk. He was in the news a lot actually today and over the last few days. But one thing he talked about, Musk warns population crisis in the U.S. He's warning that due to declining fertility rates, aging population, the fact that the left is neutering all of their children. He didn't say that, but I'm going to add that.
He worries about being low.
Being low.
Okay.
Yeah.
He believes that this could have significant economic and societal impact.
I agree.
And that the U.S. needs to address the issue sooner than later. Possible solutions. And I've heard people in politics talk about immigration being a solution for this. Look, this isn't just a U.S. problem. All first world countries have this
You
problem
like
right
invite all the Hispanics in, like, come have sex with our women since our men don't want to.
Me and Scott are doing our part.
We are doing it. I mean,
me and Scott, we're not doing it, but we're doing it. We're doing our part.
We're doing our part. Yeah.
Y'all are probably doing it too, but y'all
It ain't working though.
No.
Yeah. But no, really, Japan has this problem. Actually, Japan's got a different problem. their young men do not want to fornicate with their young women.
Yeah, they're too busy like masturbating and
Too
watching
busy,
porn.
and
right?
I can't even do this.
Oh, that was like 15 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that one. We'll take that one. But yes, they're not interested, and they're promoting that women should work rather than have a family. That it's the cool thing now to not have kids and to put your career first and do the fun stuff. Especially if you watch social media. How many people out there are stars in their like 50s? Oh, it's so great that I never had kids because now I can go ski anytime I want.
Yeah.
Kids are a lot of fun, man.
I was gonna say I hate to be
My kids are awesome.
I hate to do the cliche, but who wants to be sitting around their deathbed and nobody's there?
I have a blast with my kids, man. They're
I
good.
mean, yeah, I mean,
You
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
realize that until you have them, though. So
yeah,
if you
they
don't
piss
have
me
kids,
off, but I
then-
mean, they're awesome.
I mean, if you don't have kids, there's no point of having a wife either, because if with your kids, you could just sit there and you could say,
you know what? I don't disagree.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Disagree.
but where I was going with it.
But really, I mean, this is a problem. When I read this article today, I really didn't think this wasn't what was number one on my list. But I mean, it's a real problem that's forthcoming.
No, and look, we're on the verge of. God, it sounds awful to say. I don't say awful. That sounds bad, but we're looking at almost 20% of our population being LGBTQ plus. And
That high, really?
Because everybody stopped.
well, right now, Gen Y or what is your daughter? Is she a Gen X?
I don't know what those
Gen
letters
Z?
are.
I don't know what those.
Whatever
letters
they are, their generation though is like 1 out of every 5.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now it could be just they claim that, but
Seems a little extreme.
I think
it seems very extreme.
it's crazy. I
don't-
think
I
it's
don't
more like
think
a
I buy
fad.
that.
I think it's a fad.
I think it's a fad too.
It's a mental illness.
But if it's not a fad,
It's a mental illness. It's a mental illness, and we refuse to address it as such, and we want to recognize individuals for being strong and powerful. Look, I was going to save this story for later, but let's just jump into this one here. We talked about it a little bit. The Bud Light.
Jeez.
Now Jake Lee's calling Marty.
Answer it.
is he calling you?
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead and answer
it
me.
must be important.
Yeah.
Marty calling back with frustrated look on his face. It ain't that important.
Apparently, it wasn't serious.
He said these mother taking over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him I caught. Tell him I caught a little bit.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Get off phone, Jake.
Yeah.
All right, so this leads us into the next one, Bud Light. Now, look, I think a lot of people thought that this was potentially a April Fool's joke
It should have been.
when it came out, but Bud Light sparks backlash over partnership with trans poster girl / output boy Dylan Mulvaney. If you guys don't know who that is, look it up. It's like a stick figure with a giant head who changed 1 year ago from a man to not a woman but a little girl. Actually, he wants to be a little girl. The article reports that the Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy is set to that's the wrong one. U.S.-China relations.
That's the wrong
I've
one,
copied
too.
the wrong thing.
I got 2 things on it though. When you find it,
There it is. The partnership between Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney sparked controversy among some consumers who expressed their disapproval of the company's decision to feature a transgender model in their advertising campaigns. It wasn't just that. Did you guys see it? I wanted to include it tonight, but I had trouble.
god-awful.
I had trouble getting it onto. I didn't get home in time to get it set up for us to record that. But basically, she is in a bathtub with a can of Bud Light with she's picture on it. And it's basically claiming that today is its 1 year anniversary of becoming a woman.
so first thing,
Go for
if
it.
you're gonna be serious about this, and it's Bud Light, right?
Yeah.
And your Bud Light, you don't do it on Valentine's Day to even put it in question, or not Valentine's Day,
April Fool's.
Day to even
Good
put
point,
it in
good point.
question.
I consider Valentine's Day a joke as well.
And then number
Yeah,
2,
we'll get in. We can talk about that some too.
and then the number 2 point is if you had the last name Mulvaney, why would you
Yeah.
ever want to change your name if you were a guy, or change your sex if you were a guy?
He lied, yeah.
Well, Bud Light defended their decision, stating that the brand is committed to inclusivity and diversity. They also stated that they value Mulvaney's advocacy work for the transgender community and believe that she embodies the brand's value.
More power to them. I wish them best of luck, but I will not buy their product.
Me too, Jamie.
I mean, they're doing typical advertising, trying to target another audience.
Well,
right?
but why do they know who their base is?
But
you're
like,
trying to target. You're trying to eliminate one audience.
But like every other company, you have to realize what you do. There's cause and effect.
Coors Light is just. They ought to come out now and say we have footballs and
they could have.
They ought to get Jordan Peterson to do theirs.
They could have a commercial right now with a super burly dude in a bathtub.
That's what I was thinking.
They would own it.
They would.
But here's the thing. Look, okay, and I don't know what the transgender community drinks, but I don't think they're big Bud Light drinkers, big Busch Light drinkers.
They're not.
So you're alienating.
That's a very sexist thing to say.
It is.
Now those seltzers maybe.
Yeah, I mean, White Claw would be great for them.
Yeah,
but I mean, you're alienating
Ain't no law
a large
right.
population of your consumers. Mm-hmm. I mean, know your consumer.
Now every time I drink a Bud Light, I'm going to think about a penis now because you forced it upon me.
Check this out. Guess how much money Dylan Mulvaney will make just from her.
Oh, he's raking in money. Yeah, he's killing it.
$6.3 million.
No, $1 million this year. But that's just endorsement
he's got
deals right now
stuff,
up to $1 million.
This is the same guy that was on TikTok talking about he wasn't sure how to use a tampon.
Yeah,
yeah. He carries tampons with him to hand underneath.
Yeah, he keeps tampons in case so he can hand them to women
underneath the stall.
Okay, so one time a situation like this happened to me. It was with toilet paper. Because I was sitting next to this guy in the stall, and I heard him all this stuff. I said, "Hey man, you need some paper?" He was like, "Yes, please." So I handed it up. He was like, "Thank you, homie."
I wonder what he had done if you handed him a tampon.
He'd
have been pretty. I mean, he probably would have figured out a way to wipe his butt with it. But
I mean, it does expand.
You know, people get.
Do you want it to?
People in need can become very creative.
My daddy always told me, what is dadgummit?
You don't remember your dad?
No, I forgot him. A necessity is the mother of invention.
That's how you ended up with a. I was going to say trampoline. But
actually,
a unicycle.
What my dad used to say was, "Poor man got poor ways." So,
but a unicycle is expensive.
That one wasn't.
So, in other mind-blowing news, the Chinese spy balloon did gather intelligence from sensitive U.S. military sites before it was shot down.
We know we didn't spend no time over the White House. Otherwise, there'd been no intelligence together.
I could give you that one if I remember which button it is. Oh, that's
a good one. Let's label those. Let's label those, please.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Actually, I kind of like that one there. It's magical.
I feel enchanted now.
Do you really?
That's a good job.
Enchanted.
Go drink a Bud Light. You'll feel
Marjorie Taylor Green. Did you guys see her interview on 60 Minutes last night?
I saw pieces of it. Wow, she sounds crazy as hell.
Dude,
I did not.
She sounded like she could sit in this room.
I'm not even going to lie, dude. I don't even know who that is.
Fortenberry, you and her could have some long discussions. So she goes on 60 Minutes last night. She's a representative of Georgia. Where's she from?
Shit. Yeah, I think it's Georgia.
I think it is too. Let me just double check that.
She says the crazy shit that we talk amongst ourselves. She says it on 60 Minutes.
Dude, I have no idea who it is.
Do
you know who that is, Marty?
A representative for the great state of. Well, hell, where the hell is she from? Taylor Green State. Let's see what state she's from.
So is she like? She just keeps it real, is what you're saying,
dude? Like she reminds me of Aunt Monkey.
Oh, so she keeps it real.
I'm gonna tell you
is she a Democrat or a Republican?
She's a Republican, but she's out there. I don't even know how she got. She got in trouble right after she got elected, and I thought she'd keep her mouth shut, but she didn't.
Aunt Monkey needs to run for office.
What state is she
from?
Like
an important one.
I can't look.
She'd be like the anti-AOC.
Yeah,
she would.
Yeah,
there it is.
She would demolish AOC.
I think it's Georgia. She's from Georgia. Okay. Right. All right, so. Marjorie Taylor Green has repeated her allegations that she did this on 60 Minutes talking with the party is full of pedophiles, has claimed that President Joe Biden has an agenda of sexualizing children. She defended her claims when questioned about her over-the-top accusations. She claimed that there's a push by progressives and Democrats to legalize trans health care and surgeries for minors that are contributing to an increase in the over-sexualization of children. She's a stalwart Trump supporter, is accused of pushing QAnon conspiracy theories, and has previously asserted that Democrats are running an underground sex trafficking ring.
Okay,
and that a powerful Jewish family used space lasers to start the California wildfires. Now, she came back.
Sorry, there it is. That's the only crazy thing I've heard so far.
But she came back and explained herself a little bit on that one. Okay, it wasn't quite as crazy.
That one needed explanation.
But look, Jamie, I believe that you could be Marjorie Taylor Green.
Money.
Dude, like Aside from
I believe you
Jews
could.
starting fires from space, I really could get down with everything she said.
I don't think
We've got
I
to
can,
interview this chick. I bet she'd come on.
I don't think I can
I
go
bet
with
she
the
would
joke
too.
I want to tell because we'll get banned.
I got a joke.
Actually, Crowder's now banned from YouTube, but
We should
Yes.
go right behind him then. Let's go.
well, we don't
It's
have enough
about
followers
Jews
to follow us to Rumble.
And lasers and fire and all that
I
stuff.
got,
All right,
I got,
Gary, you're
I got a
front and
joke.
center. This is
I
your
already know
got
where
a
you're
joke.
going.
I got a
Yeah.
joke. I got a joke. She must be like sunglasses because she's so polarizing.
Man, I hope she aims her little the Jews aim their laser at you.
Dude, what?
It's a terrible joke, dude.
Did you get polarized
Yeah, you get
sunglasses?
yeah, that's a stupid joke.
No.
She must identify as sunglasses because she's so polarizing. That was better. That was better, dude.
You're off the podcast. Marty's the new member because he's still over here drinking Bush Light.
I was
we
waiting
need
for
somebody
something-
on that side of the table.
I was
Look.
waiting for something really, really good.
It made me
and
laugh.
didn't.
Look, as the penis king, I feel I ought to tell it, Marty.
Marty
as
said
the
he's
penis
his
king, I
own
feel I
man.
should tell you that'll make your penis fall off.
And
Drinking a
Marty
Bush
said
Light.
he's his own man.
Oh,
he don't
my.
care. He likes it. He's going to drink it. That's what I'm talking about.
I drank my last night.
He
I
bought
finished
it.
that up.
Look, I'm disappointed because I really thought the Bush lattes I had. I was like, look, I'm gonna stand up to Bud Light. I'm gonna drink Bush Light.
Jamie said, I'm so pissed off I got to drink this whole 30 pack.
Yeah, he got
I'm
that
so
now.
mad I'll drink it all now. Get it over with.
Yeah, but
It's like
who's
pulling off Band-Aid.
all right? But 60 Minutes. I don't know about you guys, but growing up and even in my adulthood, even though they've become more left, 60 Minutes was like the one news outlet that was stayed news. And so for her to go on that outlet and to be able to make those statements, and then just everybody calls her a quack, calls her crazy. Everybody thinks she's crazy.
Look, that's gaslight.
But that's what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's how they portrayed the whole story. And all you heard today was about how over the top she was.
I mean,
The Jewish laser thing sounds like something you would see on The Simpsons.
Well, but I think they throw that in because once you throw that in, it sounds really nuts.
it's just like they do with
Yeah, it ruins
Alex
credibility.
Jones.
I think
Yeah.
gaslighting is a good way to put it.
Because
Now,
look, let's be honest. All the crazy shit Trump said has came true.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
They were spying on his campaign.
Truth.
fake Russia.
Fake Russia.
Fake Russia.
I mean,
Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah, I mean everything he claimed happened.
Well, we all knew the Hunter Biden laptop thing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
you know,
crackhead.
most Americans either didn't hear about it, they claimed to have never heard about it, or they believe the Russian disinformation.
Now the and it's a rumor. I don't know. Now the new rumor floating around that was on that same laptop was he had naked pictures of the oldest Obama daughter.
I've heard that one for
See
a while.
that?
He
If
had-
you could ever prove
There was
that,
naked
that'd be wild.
pictures of his niece.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have been of age at the time he had those photographs.
Exactly, and then naked pictures of his sister-in-law.
So are these like where?
Well,
he,
I believe that they were seeing each other.
Is this where he would have gotten them covertly or willingly from people?
I'm guessing probably willingly. I mean, if he likes to party.
The National Enquirer got the.
Well, that oldest one's what, college age?
Not at the time, though.
Yeah, not
she
at the
wouldn't have
time.
been at the time. That's just.
I mean, I even heard he had a picture of Michelle Obama's penis.
That's what I was gonna say. The National Enquirer got that one. I was going. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Maybe I
Now,
should play conspiracy theory.
He ripped a line right off her penis.
sure
It
did.
was a really long line.
Yeah, we will get kicked out.
It's
for this.
veiny.
Mulvaney.
It was more vain.
Mulvaney.
It's like a circle.
It had ridges.
Okay, so
Can't even sniff straight.
if you go back in time and tell somebody that this is the type of crap would be on the news, this is the type of stuff leading headlines, even 10 years ago, people look at you like you're crazy. Today's political environment is just absurd.
Yes.
It's just absurd.
Are we not a banana republic now?
Once
Like
Trump's
the-
arrested tomorrow, I would say we're pretty close to it. But I tell you, it's backfiring. He's had a record amount of support of money flowing in since
Ain't gonna have all kind of commissary.
they charged him. Look, he's now got supposedly a 30-point lead on DeSantis.
Dude, I saw great videos of somebody photoshopped Trump's head with where Dr. Evil's dancing in prison. So, it was outstanding.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
It was.
What if Trump becomes like El Chapo? You know how they always go break him out, all this stuff. What if that becomes the new thing? Like, they just keep
Well,
smuggling
now
Trump out.
theoretically, the Secret Service is not supposed to give in. They're supposed to stand guard and fight.
They
the
have to
death.
be there. Make sure you don't get suicided. You know.
That would be legit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These dudes took their job serious and were like, nah.
No.
Oh, he wants to be arrested. He would love.
Oh.
I heard Saul today that He wanted them to promise no cameras in the courtroom when he's arraigned. You know that dude's wanting cameras in the courtroom.
Well, they're already saying the judges want to put a gag order on him. So, you're going to charge him with stuff and then put a gag order on him?
And that means you're going to
It's like you
then
can't
charge
talk.
him in contempt every time he talks about it.
But tell you can't talk about anything.
Yeah, we're going to
on,
charge you,
man.
but you can't talk about it.
I mean, even some of the Democrats are like, "This is a bad idea."
No,
This is bad
I've
look.
seen-
like Bill Maher.
I've seen several
He
come
said,
out.
"No, this
It's
is
terrible.
bad." This
Well,
is
the Cuomo guy. Cuomo.
well, Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, he came out and said this is not a good look.
And that's the
It's not.
liberal reporter dude.
Yeah.
Andrew is.
Well, I mean, basically, they're taking a 7-year-old misdemeanor, twisting it into a felony to get a charge.
And that guy
Trump loving every
campaigned.
minute of it.
The guy campaigned on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while his city burns in shambles and the rampant crime through the city, and this is what he chooses to.
And you know what actually
people.
concerns me is I think once again he'll get off of this because he gets off on everything. Teflon Don. The reaction, the response that the left has if he gets off will be
Riots,
yes.
burning the cities down.
Yeah, and then no one will be punished for any of that.
Oh, no,
crap.
they
They'll be
won't.
Like, it's just a natural response. We should go take stuff.
Dude, I have seen so many people defending the shooter in Nashville.
Oh yes, I don't even want to start.
I saw somebody on TikTok.
Madonna is holding a
yeah.
concert in honor of.
All right, look, man.
trans.
If you want to defend that person, like I will fight you.
Yeah.
Just tell
Go
me.
fight Madonna.
Like, just tell me where to
Like,
be.
you want to talk about drag?
You're
I'll
an
put you
idiot.
behind the car and drag you behind my car.
Well, on Friday they did away with the trans.
There's really people supporting.
yes,
this?
Madonna is one of them. There's stars that still.
Oh, you didn't hear?
Dude. You know I don't watch it. I don't.
Dude,
look at
Biden
anything
came
like
out and
that.
said, we really need to take into consideration the trans community and the impact that they have. And
what the press secretary said? The
Yeah,
trans community.
they're
We have to
under
worry about.
attack.
They're under attack.
They're being murdered. The trans community is
Obviously
being murdered.
not. The kids are getting under attack, getting murdered.
Apparently they're murderous.
Yeah, apparently so.
And there was an insurrection on Friday, but you don't see anyone
no.
claiming it
That was
because
in
it's the Nashville State House where
Yep.
trans activists and Second Amendment right against Second Amendment right activists stormed and overtook the
while we're talking about this,
State House.
they can't even decide what they want to ban.
What we need to talk about is the police response to Nashville and how that should be the national model. Those guys did a hell of a
They
job.
did a great
Oh
job.
yes, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
We
talked about
touched on that
Wednesday.
already,
Yeah.
but man, they killed it.
But instead of
They did a
talking,
great job.
instead of
Golly.
They did kill it.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
I
it's terrible.
promise.
I saw Dave was 150 rounds that it got off.
okay,
150 rounds
sounds worth it.
and only killed 9 people.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I'm not gonna lie to you. I hear a lot of these stats come out from these shootings. I'm like, they suck.
No, because here's the thing. That's why they tell you not to go like in Columbine and sit under a table. Anybody can hit this shot, right?
Yeah.
If you
so that
most
shooter.
people that do that stuff are not good shooters. They're people that decided to get a gun and kill people.
So
Whether legally or illegally, that's what they decided to do.
And of course, your adrenaline's pumping, and
sure.
The shooter got off 150 rounds, or
That's
the
what
cops
I-
did.
no,
I thought the
the
cops
shooter.
did. I was like, man,
Cops
that's
only
worth-
got like 4 rounds off.
Well, that's
and
all they
she's
needed.
But no,
They're way
I
more
saw.
efficient.
They said today. I saw some article that read that 150 rounds is what they got off.
the girl.
So there are only 4 police rounds fired.
I believe.
Yeah,
that's
there's
right.
only 4
So-
shots.
I know, maybe 3. It may have only
So
been
think
3.
about the discipline.
Yeah, they did a good job, especially if you follow the.
way less than y'all did at Walmart. wasn't
I've
it?
been at a few. I squeezed off. I squeezed off more than 3. I promise.
Walmart had 300.
Well, that was mostly
Yeah.
them cats, but yeah.
Let's get back to the news. Finland will officially join NATO on April the 3rd, and Russia is not happy about it.
Boy, we finally got some help.
Implications for NATO. Finland's decision to join NATO is a significant development for the alliance as it expands its reach and reinforces its commitment to collective defense. What you think about that, Fortenberry? You a guy that knows all about that region.
Finland gives us a strong access to the Baltic Sea.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was going to say it's location.
Yeah, it's a great location, and it's a barrier between all the Nordic countries and Russia.
So it means you can start putting bases and stuff there, and then you get really close to other people.
Isn't Finland one of the? They're one of the countries that just kind of stands alone. They're impartial. They're
Switzerland.
That's Switzerland.
Switzerland. That's right. They seem the same to me. They're all a bunch of white people.
Did you know that like Switzerland is like has the most guns per capita? Did you know this?
Yeah, but they are. They're like very,
That's
very
a
white.
racist thing said by a white guy against other
But
white people.
no, but those countries,
they're the ultimate white folks.
they
right?
are. They really are. I mean,
But yeah, did y'all hear that? Like Switzerland's got the most guns per capita.
I would have actually thought Israel.
I would thought too, but it's actually Switzerland.
We know
Those neutral people.
Several of
have
those,
guns.
but so I believe Switzerland does it too. Several of them, you're required to do a year of military service.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then when you get out, you keep your gun.
I thought they were all a bunch of tree huggers.
No,
They want their guns.
they make hot cocoa mix and stuff.
I mean, I guess there's.
They're like
neutral.
prepare for war, but pray for peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're neutral. Like I
Everybody
said.
come skiing with us.
Let's talk a little bit about reparations. We've talked about this quite a bit lately. So California's reparations efforts moves ahead. Addressing historic injustice, the movement for reparations in California reflects a growing recognition of the historic injustice experienced by marginalized communities. This part here doesn't really go into it, but apparently it got pretty heated in the state houses. They're trying to, they've decided to move forward with it, at least from a perspective of providing reparations or continue to evaluate, but now they're arguing over who would be entitled to the reparations.
Yeah, that's a big argument.
Yeah.
Should we also give reparations to people who had soldiers that died or wounded?
Well, who's also in charge of paying the reparations? Should it just be families?
Well, they're not worried about that right now.
Well, I'm
they're
sure this
worried
is-
about.
We got to figure out who's paying it.
So
They're
this
worried about
is-
who gets it first.
Well,
This is slavery based,
Yeah,
right?
but
Descendants, let me read this real quick. As descendants of African Americans enslaved in the U.S. or of free black people living in the country before the end of the 19th century. So you got to prove you're a
What
descendant
about
of those
Irish
people.
and Chinese people? There were just as many slaves back in the day.
What about Indians that we took their land?
There we go.
they did get reparations though.
Exactly.
Meh.
I mean,
Kinda.
kind
Yeah,
of,
kinda.
not
They kinda
quite.
did.
We basically told them, look, here's what you're taking.
I mean,
take it or leave it.
Well, no, but I mean, they're allowed to have
Yeah.
casinos, and I mean, the federal government gives
They
them all
can.
kinds of
It
stuff.
still only benefits a small amount of Indians.
I mean, right now,
Well,
they've
they get
only
free
passed a
healthcare and-
law
Yeah.
to create this task force. But they're now hung up on how you define it and who's eligible.
Well, listen, almost three quarters of a million Americans died during the Civil War.
Have you ever been to Indian communities? I know I'm changing. the
Yeah, I mean,
subject.
I've worked in them.
Yeah, they were different, aren't they? There's a lot of
yeah.
poverty, a lot of drug abuse.
Yeah, but a lot of that's self-inflicted, though. I mean, it's not.
It is, but some of it does stem from being poor. But they do have opportunities. I'm not saying there's not any opportunities.
Oh, dude, like in Cherokee, North Carolina, they get $35,000 a year per
Yeah.
person.
It's just kind of wild how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, they get when they turn 18, they get $100,000 check,
Speaking of
Daggum.
So
I mean,
crazy, man.
and ODs, and that's the biggest killers. ODs.
So high. The drug abuse is so bad.
Oh, but you give an 18-year-old $100,000.
Well, I mean, even before that, you get drug abuse. It's wild how that works.
So if you fought for the North in the Civil War and you died, would your family have to pay reparations?
I think that the point
You've already
is,
paid.
It's actually a pretty good question.
But no,
I
we're
mean,
not
come
talking
on.
about that yet. This is strictly in California, and so California would first take a deficit to make sure that they paid the reparations. But then, of course, depending on who's in the White House, I'm sure every American would end up paying for these reparations.
Gary brings up a good point.
Yeah.
If,
I always
if-
make a good point.
If you're a descendant of somebody who died in the Civil War, why would you either not get reparations or be responsible for reparations?
Exactly.
You paid your toll.
Because
You did.
none of this makes any sense.
No,
Can
you
Can
paid
you-
with your life.
You're applying logic to an illogical situation.
Can you federally sanction something to go to a state?
That's what I was about to say.
sure.
How can federal
Sure
pay
you
for
can.
this? I mean,
They do it all the time.
Which is my argument
they
is
can
why
tax
we
you.
should get rid of the federal government and just go with state governments.
They must approve this bill, and then you stick the pork in the bill, and no one's had a chance to read the 1,400-page bill. And
Nope.
That's how they get it to the federal government to support this craziness. It's absurd. No one living today experienced slavery. Now,
Well,
yes, there was racism.
That's not a true statement.
Okay, that's
No, it's
not a
not
true
a true
statement.
Because there's 40 million slaves right now in America, in the world. Not America, in the world.
they didn't. They weren't during the U.S. slavery trade. But now
No.
there was racism and things like that, and still, I
So
guess there's probably some. Still
I get
today,
into a
but
heated
that's true of anything.
discussion. I get into a heated discussion with several times a year over this. The Civil War was not over slavery, period. And people disagree. But the South seceded over slavery. The war was over the preservation of the Union.
Yes.
Which is a minor detail, but it's a big difference.
It actually ended up being pretty important, too.
Well, considering there was several slave states that fought for the Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it wasn't
Have
over
y'all-
slavery.
The end of slavery was almost like a byproduct of it.
It was a byproduct.
You know
Yeah,
what
that's
was,
what it was.
You know what was a byproduct of the Civil War? A1 sauce.
It
Was it really?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I
was.
seen
I
that
love
meme,
A1
so
sauce.
whoever made that meme, I credit it. But you ever seen that? It's got the years. It's right dead in the middle of the Civil
Is it
War.
really?
Yeah, there's a joke. Somebody
Yeah,
said,
that's like- yeah.
and around the middle of the Civil War,
That's
guys
the
like,
first
you know what I
I've ever
need?
A
Is
good
some
steak sauce.
good steak sauce.
I've got I got one more serious story, and then I got a funny story to talk about. But it's probably not funny for this guy. But we want to talk a little bit about what occurred. A couple things occurred. We've been talking about the petrodollar, right? We've been talking about
It's a big one.
yeah, and so things are happening. Japan just bought oil from Russia for over $60 a barrel, which is what the sanction price was. This is a big deal, which means Japan bought oil and didn't support the U.S. sanctions on oil. In the same breath, OPEC announced cuts of, I thought it was 500,000, but I saw later it's 1.6 million barrels a day that they're cutting in production, which will drive oil prices up. And the reason they gave for doing that is that the U.S. came out and said, Biden said he will not replace our strategic reserves this year, which is a big deal because they're all but deplete, especially if we're on the cusp of going to war. We should be replacing. Actually, we should be filling them from our own coffers, if you will. And Saudi Arabia
That's what we were about to do.
cuts ties with the U.S. for economic independence. All of these things stand alone
so
are
what
a
do we-
big deal, but these together are a huge deal.
So do we pull our bases out of Saudi Arabia? Right now they're living under the blanket of the U.S. Military.
So Joe Biden, I mean, Trump really,
Right.
And they have tons of money.
Yeah, but they also have tons. I mean,
But they
there's
also
been a deal.
live. That's a volatile region, and they kind of
Yeah.
live that lifestyle because there's some protection.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, we have what 6 or 7 bases there.
I say we just come on home and use our own damn oil.
But that's not going to happen.
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's not. It can't. I mean, it
Well,
can't
I mean,
happen.
It can.
Well,
if
They
the,
choose not to.
It can't because just too much other things would happen. But we should, I think, use our own oil at this point.
Guys, the economy is
tough,
not
man.
in a good way.
No.
It's
Nope.
not in a good way. And
Not at
these
all.
things, and people are going to, you don't worry about that. It's halfway around the world. These are the type of things that are going to impact the cost. You know, everything we have is tied to petroleum. Everything plastic you see is tied to petroleum. Your cars, your gasoline. Look, I saw today, it was on Facebook. It was somebody in West Memphis complaining about West Memphis Power, how expensive electricity bills were. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you get what you put. This is what you voted for.
this is what you.
This is what you. Every time you go to the pump, and that little Biden sticker, which I don't see 'em much anymore.
No,
When they put them back on there, but I did this.
I
right?
did that.
These natural gas bills that I'm hearing around here out of West Memphis. I don't know if yours is high, Jamie, but some of these folks on Facebook are like crazy high.
So have y'all ever heard like about South Africa and their energy problem? So I went over there, right, and some other people I know were just back, and it's gotten even worse. So periodically, about every 2 to 3 hours during the day, they turn,
did tell
they
us that,
kill
yeah.
the power
rolling
grid.
blackouts.
Yeah, so they're rolling blackouts. You have no power at all
Do you know where else
during
we're
these
having
times.
rolling
They
blackouts?
alternate.
California.
California, look out!
Texas is number
Texas.
2 with rolling blackouts because we're dismantling coal plants.
Yeah, because they're trying to get that wind power, and when they had all the snowstorms, they were shut down because they couldn't generate any power because they're all frozen.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got a long way to go here, but let's get into a little lighter story. This man has, this may be Jamie, I don't know. He has a rare condition where his body makes alcohol.
I've heard of these.
I
things.
have.
I've
It's
heard
a
of this.
rare medical condition where the body produces alcohol, leading to a range of physical and social consequences by highlighting the experiences of those affected by this rare condition.
That crap.
He lost his job and house due to his medical condition. Let's see.
But he had a hell of a time doing it.
He had a hell of a time. This guy doesn't even have to buy beer.
He doesn't even have to buy beer. He just like walks around.
He doesn't have to
and-
worry about the Bud Light saga, none of that stuff. He just makes his own alcohol.
But I think some type of food or drink offsets it where it starts producing alcohol. It's got to be. I forget what it is. I've heard of this I've heard of this condition before. Like people get pulled over drunk and they never had a drink.
Jamie's trying to figure out how to get this condition.
I'm thinking I'm going to use it if I ever get pulled over.
He's like,
I have this conditioner off there.
So I wonder if you pee, alcoholic pee, or
people complained to him smelling like alcohol when he was in school, so they thought he'd been drinking too much and then sweating. Could this all just be a lie?
what's the biological thing that makes this work, Gary?
I don't know. It sounds like a superpower though.
Otto, Jamie, this is awesome. He found auto brewery syndrome. By this time, he had to sell his house in New Jersey and move in with his wife's family in Long Island. He said, I tried to get a job, but I had pending felony charges with the Department of Education. Man, this poor fella.
Auto brewery syndrome.
He found a doctor in Staten Island who's familiar with auto brewery syndrome. The doctor ran a glucose challenge test to see if he had the condition.
You could be crazy popular in
Check
jail,
this
though.
out. While fasting, his blood alcohol concentration was 0. And considered completely sober. As he consumed a sugary beverage, it steadily increased. Within the first hour, he was at 0.14.
Wow, that's like drunk, man.
Maybe the sugar.
Holy cow!
You know,
Yeah, because sugar's glucose.
well, yeah,
And a
but,
blood alcohol content of 0.15 can cause people to feel drowsy and confused.
well, maybe he's got a yeast infection because yeast eats the sugar, and that's what produces the alcohol.
I want to know.
He's got an ongoing yeast infection.
In his belly.
That's wild, man.
That's wild.
The brewery.
So basically, maybe you're right, Gary. Basically, the gut microbiome begins fermenting carbohydrates and sugars into alcohol.
Oh, look at my chemistry
All
come
right.
out.
I'm gonna have to Google this later and just look at I'm interested. This is
I'm going to
crazy.
get me a card printed off that says I have auto brewery syndrome.
so that you can just drive wherever and do
See,
whatever
this
you
is
want.
some symptoms from it, okay? Balance problems, feeling confused, bowel problems, vomiting, burping, feeling tired, feeling dizzy, acting
you're
intoxicated.
I've had all of them. I've had every one of them.
Like in the last day or two, right?
Jamie, I think we have this disease.
I'm confident.
Yeah, that's what we're going to tell Charles. Yeah, I know.
Maybe you
get
can
a kick out of it.
identify as having this
All right,
disease.
now
There you
I
go.
got another one here. All right, we're talking about trans athletes competing with women.
Yep.
This article blew my mind. Paralympians are faking severity of their disabilities to win medals.
Get out of here, man.
What was it? South Park already
I
did
think,
this.
yeah, South Park did it.
There was
South Park
There's a
did.
movie with Johnny Knoxville in it.
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
movie
Johnny.
is what,
The Ringer is what it was called.
Yeah, the Ringer.
because he met the hot chick and he acted.
Not Kyle. Cartman did it.
Cartman did it, and it still lost.
He still lost. Yes, because he's fat.
Because it was when Jimmy got up on steroids.
Yeah.
And Timmy was like, Timmy.
South Park's great.
It's great.
So
They're
it
like the
says,
Simpsons now.
it says they're exaggerating their impairments in order to win medals. Former athletes and officials have called for fundamental reform, describing a culture under which classification rules were regularly bent and broken. Look, this is everybody gets a trophy. I'm sorry, it is, because everybody got a trophy when they was young and they got older and they said, well, I can't get a trophy competing against men, so I'm going to compete against women. I can't get a trophy competing against someone with 2 legs, so I'm going to act like I got 1 leg. Can you act like you
Gary
got
has 3
Probably.
legs.
You could probably identify with a man with 3 legs. Gary, you can identify as a man
I
with 3
have a
legs.
disability.
Hey, you damn cheater! You cheated all them years in basketball and baseball.
Yep.
He was like Tigger.
It didn't
It didn't help him.
Yeah. We're at the end of
You-
time.
you
The
can't-
end of days is near. The end of days is near.
It is because of everybody can identify as whatever. You've now just presented, brought chaos essentially. You brought chaos. There's no standards now. I can go out there. What keeps me from changing my age? What keeps me from changing that? There's nothing.
Because you would be considered mental ill if you said you identify as a 70-year-old. Let's apply for Social Security and say we
Why can't we?
identify as a 67-year-old.
I mean,
It
I
might
feel
work
old.
right now.
My body
Very
feels
well
old.
may.
It might. You might win that lawsuit. I mean, honestly.
I mean, there's no such thing as biology. There's no such thing as facts. Just pure chaos.
Let's try it.
Pure chaos.
There's no truth out there no more.
Can't hurt nothing.
I mean,
Gary, you apply for it. You're the one that doesn't work.
okay.
Yeah, and you could have like white in your beard. We could dye it really white.
I mean, I do have a lot of gray.
Why's it got to die?
I mean, obviously, part of my beard identifies as old, so
There you go.
there. I mean,
You're half old.
I'm
Tell them
half-
you need half your Social Security. right now.
exactly. I'll take it before it's all gone.
In other news of the end, that the economy is in bad shape, of all people, McDonald's closes U.S. offices and councils meetings as it's going to do a big corporate layoff. And I saw that revamping the menu. They're getting the The CEO said, "Why do I need 12 versions of McChicken sandwich on the menu?"
I agree.
They
You
try
don't.
to
It become way
fancy.
too complicated, didn't it? I liked it better when you just had your quarter pounder with cheese,
Yeah,
your
they-
Big Mac, and your cheeseburger.
They tried to have a premier, like all these premier
Yeah, the
sandwiches.
quarter pounder of cheese has like four different
options.
Yeah.
And
Look,
well, it don't matter what you order, it's gonna be wrong.
I need
so.
a McDouble and a hot spicy. That's all I need from this place.
You know what? Their biggest problem is they need to keep the McRib all the time. I love
Yeah, because I need diarrhea all the
That's
time.
right. Extra pickles.
To go along with
They need to
your
stop-
auto brewery
Yes.
syndrome.
They need to stop teasing me with this McRib.
Hey,
Look,
so
man-
when's the last time y'all went to Taco Bell?
Oh,
About a week ago.
yeah, I go.
See, I remember you used to order a number
Love Taco
one and then
Bell.
you tell them hard or soft.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
now there's a number one and a number two.
Yeah.
Look,
One of them's
me and
hard, one of
Charlie,
them's
Not no Ciola. You still got to
Yeah.
order number one and tell them.
me and Charlie stopped by Crystal and got a sack full on the way to Memphis yesterday.
and a sack full.
Talk about diarrhea.
I
it was
mean-
so good.
But it's so, especially
It
like,
was so
it's
good.
even
Gut
better the
days.
later at night. it
You
is
remember
for
we
some
used to
reason.
come home from D&D and we get 2 sackfuls with cheese.
And then y'all get something to eat.
Yeah, I was coming home to it.
Yeah, that was
We'd come home and eat breakfast at the Waffle House.
You remember back in the day?
No, we would go to Iron Skillet.
Iron Skillet,
Iron
man. At
Skillet.
Petro?
We go to Iron Skillet.
The
All right,
roaches
guys.
would come out and
I
grease.
think
Before we break for tonight, I've got a bourbon to try for us.
Heck
This
yeah.
is a bottled and bond Missouri. It's the only Missouri bottled and bond. It's Ben Holiday. If y'all hadn't checked it out, check us out. We're on Fridays. We do a drop from Marty Marr's bar. We do a tasting. We're going to do a more extensive tasting of this Ben Holiday. The guys at Lake District recommended to me, but we're going to try it on the air tonight. I'm on to. My wife told me not to sip from the bottle, so I'm
is
gonna-
this what we got to?
I like
No,
how
I've
he
got these
said.
over here.
I like
Those are
how he said a
Jell-O
more
shots.
extensive tasting. That means we're going to drink more of it.
So pass that around to D-Dub. Yeah.
Alex, they didn't rob the Methodist
This
church.
is medicine, man. This looks sneaky.
This is like the communion glasses you get at
Yeah,
church.
hold on till I get everybody poured up here.
Except it's not
Does
wine.
it smell like a roofie?
I don't know. I don't
It's,
know what it smells like, Jamie.
Jamie, if you'll watch our last video, Jamie smelled the hell out of that last bourbon we
Oh,
tried.
and he
I don't
can't
even know
smell
what it
nothing.
was.
This dude
Marty, what
colorblind.
was it he smelled so much?
I don't know.
Jamie can't smell straight.
I tell y'all what he smelled of a bunch.
Hey, well, we're killing time. Let me say this, guys. Everybody keep Arkansas in their thoughts. Wynn, Little Rock.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
we're
rough.
Pass it on down.
Oh yeah.
When I was going,
Yeah, go
Okay.
with Marty.
thought I was-
Oh, okay, never
Look,
mind.
I was in Little Rock today. Little Rock is bad
I
shape.
saw one picture, the first picture of St. Louis. All of our friends in Wynn, our 3 friends in Wynn that are listening, thoughts go out to you. Delta Elevations, y'all did a hell of a job
They did.
keeping everybody informed, keeping
Yes,
pictures.
Your Delta Elevation dynamite pictures.
Saw a girl
Go out
Jessica
to
Young.
Eric Johnson and Barbecue Relief, Marion United Methodist Church, all the churches here at Marion for all your support over there in Wynn. And while y'all are out there doing your thing, we're on all the podcast networks. Go like us. We'll probably be talking a lot more about it. But let's go
let me say,
to.
also buttoned up tonight. Tuesday, there's supposed to be some storms coming through.
Actually, they've moved us. We're now not quite in
Yeah.
the intense, and ours isn't going to come until Wednesday morning at 7:00.
Is it Wednesday?
oh,
yeah.
right while I'm driving. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
times. Good times.
All right, who wants to go first? Let's go with Gary. I always like to see Gary's first take on things.
Because I have the most fragile palate.
Because you say something ridiculous, bro. Taste it.
Let's smell it. What you got? You smelling?
I smell a little bit of alcohol in this.
It's got some good legs.
Oh, yeah?
Does she, huh?
Look at that dude. That's
Gary,
good.
are
I'm
you
looking
going
up-
to drink it?
I'm
or
looking up her
lick it,
skirt,
or-
Jamie.
What are you going to do to this thing, Gary?
Oh, my. He took just the whole thing. What's it taste like?
No, we are
Yeah,
video
I
with
mean,
them.
we would
All right.
like to taste
All right,
ours
you can
also.
save it for the bar if you want.
I mean, I like it. It's good. It
That's
doesn't-
what he
it-
says about everything.
You know, but it does have a burn, but most alcohol does. But it's not like a stinging burn. It's just sort of
Okay, we're going to go to DW. All right, I'm
Yes.
cutting you off, Gary. You can talk
So it's,
more
like,
about
it's
it.
not like the wrestler's
DW
thing? Or
DW, what
Yeah.
you got over here?
what? He went from one bad example to the next. I'm like, it's good. You know what?
It's good.
What is this?
Ben Holiday. It's the only Missouri bottled and bond out
What's
there.
the proof? in
100
all that?
proof.
Okay. He said,
All right, Jamie, you're gonna smell a lot there.
I'm
Smells
undecided.
like alcohol. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of smells like
Alcohol.
No, it's kind of.
So-
I kind of get a Woodford smell.
Has
to
anybody
it.
had?
You're right.
It reminds me of Booker's.
You can come and taste yours. You're not on camera.
You can take. We're waiting for Marty. Let's watch.
What do you think, Jamie? Jamie's got that furrowed brow.
I cannot. That's an odd flavor. It's not. I mean, it's not.
I'm gonna tell you what the guy told me. It's
not bad.
Try mine.
It's hot.
The middle of it has an odd flavor.
It's more spicy than sweet, though. I'm gonna get that.
Sorry, I'm immature.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, I don't taste the Booker's.
You didn't. It tastes like Booker's to me.
What's the matter, Marty?
Well, maybe I like Booker's now because that's not bad.
I thought it was good. The first like half drink I took of it didn't get me. The second half drink I sucked down my windpipe and couldn't talk.
Yeah. So, hey, I don't know that any of us hated it,
No, we didn't.
No,
eat
it's
it.
a good
but
bottle.
we're gonna try it along with some store picks that Marty picked up in Nashville. That'll be dropping on Friday at from Life from the Patio. That's all I got tonight, guys. I'm gonna hit the play out button, and y'all gonna have to give us some closing thoughts.
All right.
All right, DW, give us your closing thoughts.
Man, be good. Rep your hood. Do what you do. Really, shout out to Win, Little Rock.
Yep.
I wish there was something we could do.
Gary.
This episode was brought to you by the letter Q.
Kunan?
Jamie.
All right, everybody remember this. All all poo-poo times are pee-pee times, but not all pee-pee times are poo-poo times.
Makes sense.
Hey.
Look,
Look,
to think about that.
get out there and like us. Go love us. Go find us on YouTube, wherever we have podcasts.
Marty go spit his drink.
Hello.